Kia ora everyone, Donnalouise here and thanks for popping by. Today I continue my journey building Trefl's 21,000 piece jigsaw puzzle titled Earth Chronicles From the Creation to the Future. The puzzle is divided into 14 bags of 1,500 pieces each, and it has what's called their Unlimited Fit Technology, or UFT, which I discuss in the unboxing video. I'll leave links to all the previous videos in the description below, so go check them out. This is bag B. During the time lapse for this bag, I'll discuss the extinction of the dinosaurs and the lost city of Atlantis, because that's what I feel this section depicts and represents, both the top bag A and the bottom bag B. Again, I don't know the name of the artist, and the documentation that came with the jigsaw puzzle doesn't discuss what each section is supposed to represent. So I'm doing the best I can to decipher it. I did message Trefl and ask them who the artist was for this jigsaw puzzle. They said they would look into it and get back to me, but as of filming, I've not heard anything from them yet. A few things that came up in comments from previous videos that I wanted to address here. First of all, before doing the unboxing video, I had actually opened up and taken out everything from the box. And so no, there wasn't anything else included apart from the booklet, which really explains the UFT, and this one poster that does have, you know, a large representation of the entire puzzle and then small images of each section. There weren't any more posters included at the bottom of the box. Like I said, I'd like to have an individual poster for each bag, but this was all that was included. There were 2 QR codes on the box. Both of them were the same. They both directed me to the YouTube channel with a video. However, Rachel, big shout out to Rachel. Thank you so much. She found a downloadable version of the poster in PDF format, and I've gone and downloaded that. I'll use that for bag C on my iPad to see if that helps, because then I could zoom in on the image, because really the poster, I'm referencing it and I'm looking at it, but it really is small. So yeah, so thank you so much, Rachel, for finding that downloadable PDF. I really appreciate it. Before we start the time lapse, a big thank you again to Peace Relax for being our channel sponsor this year, as well as sponsoring me to go to Worlds. I'm leaving in like just over 2 weeks. I only have one more Friday with Allison to practice. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so much fun because they're going to be there in Spain with their pop-up shop. I did a video with all the details. Go check that out. If you're going to Spain, make sure to pop by the pop-up shop because they're going to have all free activities, lots of giveaways, all puzzle related. You'll definitely want to get your hands on some of those exclusive items. Also, I've had a few people reach out because they've gone to the main Peace Relax website, peacerelax.com, and currently it only ships within the US. They are trying to expand shipping. So if you're outside of the US, Amazon, check out your national Amazon link and see if there's a Peace Relax storefront. I have a link to many of them in the description below, but I could be missing some. I know they're trying to set up storefronts in most Amazons, and obviously they can ship to me here in New Zealand, so you should be able to get some shipped to you as well, hopefully. So go check them out. For now, let's jump into the time lapse and we'll discuss dinosaurs and the lost city of Atlantis. Dinosaurs are a diverse group of reptiles that first appeared during the Triassic period between 243 and 233 million years ago, although the exact origin and timing of the evolution of dinosaurs is a subject of active research. They became the dominant terrestrial vertebrates around 201 million years ago, and their dominance continued throughout the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. The fossil record shows that birds are feathered dinosaurs, having evolved from earlier theropods during the late Jurassic epoch, and are the only dinosaur lineage known to have survived the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction. Oh my goodness, the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event approximately 66 million years ago. Dinosaurs can therefore be divided into avian dinosaurs, or birds, and the extinct non-avian dinosaurs, which are all other dinosaurs other than birds. Now, the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, which I'm just going to continue referring to as the extinction event from this point on, was the mass extinction of 3/4 of the plant and animal species on Earth approximately 66 million years ago. The event caused the extinction of all non-avian dinosaurs. Most other tetrapods weighing more than 25 kilograms or 55 pounds also became extinct, with the exception of some ectothermic species such as sea turtles and crocodilians. What is a crocodilian? I need to look that up. There you go, some homework for you all. What's a crocodilian? Comment below. It marked the end of the Cretaceous period and with it the Mesozoic era, while heralding the beginning of the current geological era, the Cenozoic era. And again, I'm trying to pronounce all these names correctly, but I'm probably off. In the geologic record, this extinction event is marked by a thin layer of sediment, which can be found throughout the world in marine and terrestrial rocks. The boundary clay shows unusually high levels of metal iridium, which is more common in asteroids than in the Earth's crust. As originally proposed in 1980 by a team of scientists led by Luis Alvarez and his son Walter, it is now generally thought that this extinction event was caused by the impact of a massive asteroid about 10 to 15 kilometers wide or 6 to 9 miles wide, which happened 66 million years ago, causing the Chicxulub impact crater. That's capital Chicxulub. Chicxulub. That's the best I can pronounce it. Now, this devastated the global environment, mainly through a lingering impact winter, which halted photosynthesis in plants and plankton. The impact hypothesis, although known as the Alvarez hypothesis, was bolstered by the discovery of the 180-kilometer or 112-mile Chicxulub crater in the Gulf of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula in the early 1990s, which provided conclusive evidence that the boundary clay represented debris from an asteroid impact. The fact that the extinctions occurred simultaneously provides strong evidence that they were caused by the asteroid. A 2016 drilling project into the Chicxulub Peak Ring confirmed that the peak ring comprised granite ejected within minutes from deep in the earth, but contained hardly any gypsum, the usual sulfate-containing seafloor rock in the region. The gypsum would have vaporized and dispersed as an aerosol into the atmosphere, causing long-term effects on the climate and food chain. In October 2019, researchers asserted that the event rapidly acidified the oceans and produced long-lasting effects on the climate, detailing the mechanisms of the mass extinction. Other causal or contributing factors to the extinction may have been the Deakin traps or other volcanic eruptions, climate change, and sea level change. However, in January 2020, scientists reported that climate modeling of the mass extinction event favored the asteroid impact and not volcanism. Now, I'm not sure if this underwater rune is supposed to represent the lost city of Atlantis, but I thought that would be pretty cool to discuss here. So Atlantis is a fictional island mentioned in Plato's works Timaeus and Critias. I'm sorry, I know I've mispronounced that. And as part of an allegory on the hubris of nations. In the story, Atlantis is described as a naval empire that had conquered Europe as far as central Italy and the African coast as far as Egypt, making it the literary counter-image of, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Achaemenid Empire, of the Achaemenid Empire, capital Achaemenid. That's the best I can do. After an ill-fated attempt to conquer ancient Athens, Atlantis falls out of favor with the deities and submerges into the Atlantic Ocean. Since Plato describes Athens as resembling his ideal state in the Republic, the Atlantis story is meant to bear witness to the superiority of his concept of a state. Despite its minor importance in Plato's work, the Atlantis story has had a considerable impact on literature. The allegorical aspect of Atlantis was taken up in utopian works of several Renaissance writers, such as Francis Bacon's New Atlantis and Thomas More's Utopia. On the other hand, 19th century amateur scholars misinterpreted Plato's narrative as historical tradition, most famously Ignatius L. Donnalouise in his Atlantis, the antediluvian world. Plato's vague indications of the time of the event, more than 9,000 years before his time, and the alleged location of Atlantis, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, gave rise to much pseudoscience speculation. As a consequence, Atlantis has become a byword for any and all supposed advanced prehistoric lost civilization and continues to inspire contemporary fiction from comic books to movies. While present-day philologists and classicists agree on the story's fictional nature, there is still debate on what served as its inspiration. Plato is known to have freely borrowed some of his allegories and metaphors from older traditions, as he did with the story of Gyge, capital Gyge, not sure, Gyge. This led a number of scholars to suggest possible inspiration of Atlantis from Egyptian records of the Thera eruption, the Sea People's invasion, or the Trojan War. Others have rejected this chain of tradition as implausible and insist that Plato created an entirely fictional account, drawing loose inspiration from contemporary events such as the failed Athenian invasion of Sicily or the destruction of Helike. I know I've mispronounced most every word that I read there. I am sorry, I'm doing my best. Oh goodness, a few things that I need to follow up. I'm giving you all homework. What is a philologist? Philologist. A classicist, I would assume someone who studies the classics, like classic writings. Oh my goodness. Philologist. Classicists. And back to the dinosaurs, the Deacon traps. I think it has to do with volcanoes of some sorts. Deccan, traps, Deacon traps. That's something to look up. Did the dinosaurs get trapped in mud? Is that what they mean? Well, there you go. You learn something, and I leave you with questions. I hope you enjoy anyway. I cannot tell a lie. I was disappointed in the connection between Bag A and Bag B, the unlimited fit technology. I just couldn't get it to fit nicely at all. So I removed the top border from Bag B, I removed the bottom border from Bag A, and I would expect there to be like a slight gap between the sections. That's fine. But in the white area here, I couldn't actually get the pieces to lay flat. I honestly thought I had pieces in the wrong spot and I played around with them, but no, as you can see, the border fits fine. So I knew all the pieces were in the correct location, but there were like definitely one piece, 2 or 3, maybe 4 that just really did not fit. And I didn't want to damage the pieces by like smashing them in. And I probably could take like a sharp knife or something and trim the pieces to have them fit, but I really don't want to do that. So right from the start, the first 2 bags do not fit together nicely. It started out okay. And then just this top white area here, the bottom white area from Bag A, nah, it did not look good. Like you could visibly see the pieces were not connecting properly. So that makes me wonder if this UFT, this unlimited fit technology, how well it really would work between 2 puzzles printed at very different times. I would have thought that it would fit quite nicely between bags from the same overall jigsaw puzzle. And I know I talk a lot about like variety of piece shapes, piece cuts, prong shapes, but when it comes to something like this, where you really want to make it easy and have pieces from different bags, different puzzles connect, I think you want to simplify the piece cut as much as possible and have the same prong shape and the same very similar 2 types of pieces. Like keep it simple, because this gets complicated and it doesn't work very well. And I had a bit of a heads up because I did get a lot of comments and messages on Instagram from people saying, Don't want to disappoint you, but it hasn't worked very well for me. So leave your comments below. Have you had much luck with this unlimited fit technology? This is my first experience, the first 2 bags from the same puzzle. And yeah, I'm disappointed, sadly. Also, the pieces were so difficult to separate. I'm not gonna lie. So when puzzling, sometimes I would have a section of pieces together and I can move them around no problem. But then other times it was weird, they would fall apart. So I don't yet have an opinion on how well the pieces stay together. But then when I came to remove this top border piece and the bottom border piece from bag A, oh my goodness, that was a struggle. Like, I think it's going to take a long time to properly disassemble this jigsaw puzzle. The prongs and the pieces just kind of they snag on one another. So that was a bit frustrating, but I'll take my time. I don't want to damage the pieces, so take care in disassembling the puzzle. And also, there was quite a bit of like fine puzzle dust. So to me, fine gritty puzzle dust annoys me more than like bigger pieces of puzzle dust because it feels like dirt and I just don't like it. So I was glad that I left all the pieces in the bag and I only pulled out a handful at a time, and most of that fine puzzle dust stayed in the bottom of the bag. As for this particular section, the blue was a lot trickier than I expected, which makes me appreciate that it's just 1,500 pieces. It's manageable. I had to sort by piece shape pretty early on. I definitely would not want to do this like with a lot more sections all together, especially, oh, I forgot to check. I'm assuming it's a repeat cut pattern, perhaps rotated or repeat cut within a few bags, but I need to double check that. That's a note for the next video. I need to figure out if it's a repeat cut pattern. I would assume that it is perhaps rotated with respect to one another, but I'm glad it was just 1,500 pieces. The blue part was tricky, but I felt it was manageable. In the end, this took me about 8 hours and 10 minutes looking at the time-lapse footage, which is a bit longer than bag A. I absolutely love the colors. It really, really popped. The colors are beautiful. And even though there's so much blue, like up close, you can see the image and the detail. And this bag did not feel anywhere near as pixelated in the imagery as bag A did. And bag A, it really was kind of like in the dinosaur details. This still is a lot of blended stuff. So I don't know yet. I'll hold judgment on the pixelation of the image, but this one, it didn't seem pixelated to me. I really, really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the challenge because I knew there weren't that many blue pieces. I could get through them. So in total right now, I have my note here, I've spent about 15 hours and 55 minutes on this jigsaw puzzle. So nearly 16 hours for 2 bags, 1,500 pieces each. That's not bad at all. 16 hours for 3,000 pieces. That's just casually, leisurely puzzling for me, and I have really enjoyed it. I'm going to move on to bag C. So let's look at our poster here just quickly. I've done bag A, bag B, did not connect them very well. It just didn't work. I'm moving on to bag C. During the time lapse for bag C, I'll talk about like the Ice Age, the invention of the wheel, and discovery of fire. I will try to connect bag C to bag A. You have to remove the 2 side borders. But I've already decided that I don't want to frustrate myself. I don't want to ruin the puzzle. I don't want to deal with prongs, bending, or not connecting. If the connection from bag A to bag C is really not working, not great, then maybe from that point, I won't try connecting any more sections. And when the time comes that I have them all done, I'm just going to lay them down side by side by side by side. So again, leave your comments below. Let us know about your experience with the UFT. And the thing is, like, I'm still having fun with the puzzle, but I'm a bit concerned about this pixelated images. If the pictures get more and more busy, will they appear more pixelated? But I'll hold judgment for that. I love the colors. I love like the blended color gradient effect that goes on. I didn't mind it in between these 2 sections. So I don't know. There's definitely some pros and cons. And I'm really curious now to do that Trefl 1000 piece, one that I have with the UFT. Just to see, you know, would it connect? Would it not connect? It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm on the fence about a lot of things. I am enjoying doing the research and learning about things. I hope Trefl gets back to me and lets me know the name of the artist, and perhaps I can reach out to them and they can tell me what each section was supposed to mean. So on to bag C, and I'll discuss the Ice Age as well as the invention of the wheel and discovery of fire. I hope you enjoyed the videos so far and the voiceovers. I really do enjoy this style of jigsaw puzzle where it's more like a project, and we learn a lot of things as we go. I'm having lots of fun with it. If you did enjoy the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. I hate asking, but it really does help me out a lot. I appreciate you all being here, and so thank you to Peace Relax for sponsoring me to go to Worlds. You'll definitely have a lot of Worlds content coming up, but also just a lot of fun casualing puzzling content as well. I can't wait to read all your comments. Let me know. I was warned about the UFT, and yeah, you can kind of tell in my voice when I do these videos, I am disappointed. I won't lie, I am disappointed, but the colors are beautiful. At least this one wasn't pixelated. I like the subject matter, so the price was good for the puzzle itself, not for the shipping. But yeah, let me know, especially if you've done other big, large piece count jigsaw puzzles by Trefl. I want to hear all your opinions, all your experiences, all your thoughts. And until next time, ciao!